Hey there YouTube, it's me, Mrs. Mitchell, and I am back so soon with another hashtag. This one's a short one, it's only 4 questions. It is, as you can tell, I'm sure by the title, this is hashtag hug deck. It's put on by Space Between the Notes. I'm going to put the link to his original video down below, so totally go check it out and make your own response and get in on the fun. But anyway, so this is only 4 questions. I have like my decks right here, so I'm ready to go. And before I waste too much time, I'm gonna get into these 4 questions, so this will be quick and out, done, fun, yeah. All right, so even though I cheated on this first question because I have 2, but the first question is, what is your current hug deck? So my first and foremost current hug deck would have to be, this is the Kochs Tarot, and it's by Judith McKay Stirt? I'm sorry. S-T-I-R-T. Stirt? Sorry. Anyhow, this is my current hug deck, and it is the Kochs Tarot, and I guess, you know what, I'll answer number 2 with this too while I'm holding it, and then I'll get into the other deck and I'll do 1 and 2. Because the second question is, why is this your favorite? And this deck is my current favorite hug deck because, well, for one, I'm a cook, so it just really speaks to me with all of its kitchen humor and its quirkiness. And for 2, it's just something about this artwork with the really thick lines, and I just really enjoyed this kind of artwork. I feel like I remember seeing like this type of artwork in like restaurants and grocery stores as a kid and stuff, but it's just very easy to take in. I love the bold lines and the beautiful colors, the borderlessness, even the people, they just look so, like, I don't know, they just look cute and inviting, and see, like, the quirkiness of this deck, it's just really, it takes the edge off. The artwork takes the edge off too, I suppose, because even in the more I don't want to say negative cards, but yeah, in the little more negative side cards, it's still very calming and very accessible, very easy to read for me, and it's not abrasive. It's just really not abrasive. It's very gentle. Why are we upside down here? It's very gentle, and I love it. I mean, obviously, as you can tell by this wonderful, wonderful glare here, it's a shifter deck, so, you know, I love the art though, so it's worth it to deal with this gloss. A wishbone, isn't that cool? There's just so much in that picture, but I'm not gonna bore everybody with me talking about this one deck, and I'm gonna continue to move on. So my number 2 hug deck is an oracle deck, so I have a tarot hug deck and then an oracle hug deck. And this one is the Trust Your Vibes. Am I showing the back? Oh, I am. Okay. This is the Trust Your Vibes oracle deck, and it is from Sonia Kochette? Looks right. I'm not gonna spell it because it's too long, but I think I'm pretty close on that one, maybe. And this is my favorite oracle hug deck because I really feel like how the figures are drawn in this. I actually use these 2 decks in conjunction with each other because of the art style. I know this doesn't have like the thick lines, but it's just these figures and the colors. Whenever even before I had them both in physical, just seeing pictures of them, I was like, I need both of these because they are just gonna be beautiful together. They are gonna be best friends. But yeah, I mean, if you're reading, it looks backwards to me, but I know when you're gonna watch it, it's not backwards. But yeah, if you're reading any of these phrases on here, then you can probably see just how much of a hug the deck this can be. And I just love it. It is definitely, I guess, my favorite. I mean, why it's my favorite, which is the second question, is just because of the artwork and because of its gentleness. And it's just, the messages are very easy to take in. It's not shocking. It's not spicy. It just kind of, I don't know. It's great for clarifying, I guess. It really pulls everything into a concise meaning. And honestly, like, I have the book, and when I pull a card for all of us, I will probably read a little excerpt of the book, but in all honesty, the pictures of these really speaks to the meanings that are in the book. I know some decks that's not the case. That's how come, honestly, that's how come I have, sometimes I have like a hard time with Oracle decks because of the fact that there's no system in it, and sometimes I just, to me, the message that I get from the card doesn't match with the message in the book. With these cards, typically, say I pull a card, I will have my own interpretation, and when I look in the book, it's pretty close. Because the pictures just really, like I said, they just really speak to the meaning, which is how it should be, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's why that's my favorite. That's why it's my second hug deck, my hug oracle deck, and that's why the other one is my hug tarot deck. All right, so now I'm gonna pull a card from each of these, and then we'll get into question number 4, which is the last one. All right, so we'll do tarot first. This cardstock is terrible, but it's worth it for its beauty. Sorry for all these shuffling noises over here. Make sure we get a good mix on them. Pull off the top, but I'm going to shuffle the oracle too, and then I will pull from both. Alright, now that that's done, let's see what we got here. Alright, so we're going to do the Kochs Tarot first. Oh wow, alright. So here we have the Ace of Swords, which is actually the cover of the book, which is kind of cool, and the box too. So obviously we have a new swift action, we have a new idea, a new way of doing it. And before I even start rambling too much, I want to show you in the book, because this is like something that I think is very fun about this deck, and part of why this is one of my hug decks. Let's see if I can find the card in here, and I will show you, because every card has, oh, I went past it. Every card has a little section in the book. Here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. That is kitchen wisdom is what it's called. So it has like a little quote, like a little saying or whatever, depending on the card. So well, since I'm holding the book, I might as well show you guys. Just for anybody who hasn't seen this deck or whatever, this is the book that it comes with, and it has all of this, and then it carries on into this other page. So most of the cards, you know, have a, I'm sorry, I'm not showing this very good. Most of the cards have a quite good amount of description, and they go through the description, they go through different points in the card. Yeah. So anyhow, let's get into this. Yeah, so just to show, just to show you. So it goes on here and it goes through the apple. It describes about the apple. It describes about what the knife represents. So I will read the kitchen wisdom from this book for us all. All right. So for the Ace of Swords, this is what Judith McKay Sturt has to say from her kitchen wisdom on this card. Here we go. When getting ready to hit the nail on the head, make sure your nails look good. Or, stated more simply, if you are heading for a confrontation, look your best. It helps. You can take that for what you would like. But I definitely, you know, let's go back to the card here. It's definitely bringing together we have the fertility aspect of the new beginnings with the apple here and the knife cutting through and seeing the inside of the apple, and the seeds inside that start a new growth. These seeds will start the new growth of this new fresh idea, and we will see what the Trust Your Vibes has to say with this. Oh, this is great. All right, so we have this fresh, new ideas, a sharp point, a swift cutting open and seeing the inside. I feel like this beginning is obviously it's the beginning because it's the ace, you know, but she's just starting to making whatever she's gonna make with these apples, and this is gonna be a project. Well, I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm trying to talk, but nothing's coming out. So yeah, so we see her cutting open the apple, seeing the inside. She's starting her project. It's her idea to make whatever she's gonna make with these apples. And you know, that's actually something I wonder if it says anything about, you know, maybe what she's gonna make, because there are quite a bit of kitchen quirks in this book and everything, which I really enjoy. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really say what she's going to make with this, but obviously if we were actually doing a full reading, which I guess I could just draw 2 cards, but I'm trying to stick to the rules here since I already did 2 decks. But yeah, it's definitely about exposing your innards, starting this new growth, continuing on your path, cutting down to the key of everything, embarking on this journey in whatever she is about to make. So I hope that all of you will be looking your best, as the kitchen wisdom says, if you have a confrontation. Make sure your knife is sharp. All right, and here we have, this is number 39, and I will read you a little bit of excerpt out of the book that this comes with, but it says, Cloak Yourself in Light. So I'm seeing this is going with our kitchen wisdom about this is looking good and seeing your insides and kind of cutting through the crap, I guess, and make sure that when you start on this journey, or you begin on this thought process, or your project, or whatever your next move is, that you do look good and you protect yourself from any kind of negativity that can come out from people seeing your insides. And then I'll put this down for a minute, and I will read a little bit of the book just so you guys can get an idea of it, just for anybody who hasn't seen this deck. And then you can see how, like I said, that I really feel like the meanings really speak to the images really speak to the meanings that's in the book. So again, we have a representation. I'll show you, even though I'm not showing you very good. So you get about a full page for each card. You get all this, and then all this on the back. Yep, and that's pretty much what I said here. So, see if I can find a good concise spot here to start reading without having too much extra. All right, use your imagination and cloak yourself in protective vibrations of white light and self-love every time you leave the house. Do this as a matter of course, just as you'd put on your shoes to protect your feet before stepping outside. Cloaking yourself in light deflects negative influences and prevents them from attaching to you and disturbing your peace. Wow. All right, so I see how this is playing in with this ace. I didn't read out of here, out of the book for, I'm like doing this like you can see when I'm touching. Anyhow, like maybe I shouldn't do 2 videos in one night. Don't be naive by denying the kind of energy you might be exposed to. Negativity happens. It's part of human nature and the 5 sensory world as a reflection of fear. So there is no point in being offended or afraid when you encounter it. Be proactive instead. Travel in your cloak of light wherever you go. So I can definitely see how, like I said, you know, you're gonna protect yourself from people seeing the insides when you start on this new thoughts. Don't hold back. Don't hold back, because there's no need to. You cut right to the point. You don't hold back. You just make sure that yourself is protected, that you keep all the love inside and all this negativity outside, just as all this love and these seeds is inside of this apple, and the skin is being cut through down into the center. And I love how these, like I said, I love these 2 decks together, because I love how this is kind of, this image here with this heart is kind of, I guess it doesn't really look similar, but there's something there that I can't express off the top of my head here. It doesn't resemble each other, but it gives me the same feeling of this inner love, the inner love of here. And this is cutting right down to it. So this is reminding us to protect ourselves. And I think that both of these messages are very useful for any of us that have the holiday season coming up, being around the family. This is a very good piece of advice. Anyhow, now that I talked forever, nobody's gonna even make it this far anyways, because I just rambled on forever, sat there with my mouth open because words wouldn't come out, and blabbed on forever, and I'm still blabbing on now. So, without further ado, let's go to the last question, because I thought this was gonna be really quick, but I just keep talking and talking and talking. So maybe I shouldn't do two videos, one after, back to back here, get too rambly and tongue-tied. And the last question, question number 4, is what is your kick in the tush butt? Did I really just say kick in the tush butt? Kick in the tush deck. Oh, good God. Anyway, I apologize if anybody is even watching this. Anyhow, before I go to my Morgan Greer, which is my kick in the tush deck, I just wanted to see if I could even get a good view of this beautiful blue lace agate that I keep with my so-called kick in the tush deck. It doesn't do it justice on camera, obviously. So I'm sure everybody has mostly seen this deck before. This would be my kick in the tush deck, and this is the Morgan Greer Tarot. I have the big size here. It really, really speaks to me and my love of the 70s, and I'm totally into the feel of it. I love the artwork. I love everything about it. And honestly, when I got this, I never would thought that this would be my kick in the tush deck. Like, it's really not at all the thought that I got from it. I thought this was gonna be a hug deck because it looks so inviting. Like look at this Three of Cups. I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, just look at their faces. It's so beautiful. Like, I thought this was gonna be very comforting, but it just doesn't mess around. It really just doesn't mess around. I've had some really intense readings with this where the images were so clear that I'm like sitting there looking at it where I'm like, there's no way that that can be really what it's telling me. And then of course, without a doubt, oh, yep, that's what it was telling me. You know, when I see it pan out, that's what it was telling me. But it's just so spicy sometimes. It's just so spicy sometimes that it's shocking. In a way, I suppose. Where I believe it, and I know that I should. Sometimes though, it's so brutal that I feel like that can't really be what it's telling me, but it is. It is. I have to trust it, especially now after working with it and having these certain readings that I've had with this deck. And not just for myself, for other people too. This deck is quite spicy, even to others. So it's not just me. It must just be this deck. It speaks the truth and it doesn't hold back. I'll tell you that much. I'm not sure if we're supposed to, but sitting here holding this, shuffling it. So I guess we'll pull a card for a message to go along for the end of this about this being my kick in the tush deck. Now that you had to sit there and look at me not looking at you, I should have pointed this down so you could see my hands actually. Oh. Alright. Yeah, because I could point it down so you can see my hands. So I just pulled a card for fun off the top of here for a message for us all, and we have the Magician, which is actually quite nice, if I do say so. He's reminding us that we have the power to do what we want. Maybe he's telling me, yeah, I have the power if I'm brave enough, if I know how to use if I know how to control all of these elements, if I know how to rule over them, I can use this deck, if I can keep control over it, because sometimes this deck makes my emotions overflow. If I stay calm and remember the above as above, so below, that is such a big part of my practice. And if I keep that in mind, then I can work with this deck. And this card definitely just shows the energy of this deck, honestly. I mean, you see the 70s-ness of it. You see the coloring. I mean, look at that mustache. Look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. But yeah. So, that was the message from the Morgan Greer. That I need to not be afraid to work with it. Even though it's let me around, it's teaching me things, learning, becoming the magician from the Fool with this deck. And I think I just need to quit the fear, and I need to, and maybe if I protect myself and cloak myself in this white light, I can start again to cut open this deck. Alright, I'm obviously way too tired to still be doing this. So that was 2 videos in a row. So if anybody, because I highly doubt it, because how did I talk for this long? Seriously, how did I ramble on that long for 4 questions? I don't know. But even if you just skip through and you see any of this, check out down in the description box. I put the link for Space Between the Notes original video on this hashtag hug deck. And yeah, if you made it that far, give me a like, give me a comment, something. Let's see other people's VRs for this video, for this tag. And I've already watched many of great responses for this, much less rambly than mine. But honestly, if when I watch, I don't know why I'm picking my phone up. Honestly, if when I watch this back, if it seems way too long, I may try to redo it, get rid of this and redo it again, more concise. If you think that's a good idea, totally tell me. But yeah, that's all I got, finally. But all right, enjoy.